Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is episode 23 of your Detroit Red Wings franchise mode, as today we are looking to continue the demolition derby that the Detroit Red Wings are right now on, as we're 13-2-3 as we place ourselves on the top of the division and practically one of the best teams in the league. I mean, there's some other good teams like Hurricanes and the Flames and stuff like that, the Dallas Stars. There's some other good teams in the league, but I would have to say we are doing pretty damn good this season, and we're seeing a resurgence of a lot of great players. David Pasternak, who over the past couple seasons have really not been himself. He really hasn't. Since the starting of the game, when he first started the simulation, he was doing good, and then once the Boston Bruins kind of started backtracking, he started to struggle. But once he came to Detroit, he's really kind of turned around his career, and I'm hoping that this power play time that he's getting and his power play points that he's going to be putting up this year helps him come back to that player that we're paying him for, which is $9.975 million. Not just that, our young stud Connor Burrows is also developing very nicely. 81 overall. He's having a lethal year, and he's been having some great years down in the juniors. Now he's getting his first crack with the NHL roster, and he's doing great alongside Mantha NMC and Bertuzzo, which is perfect. And even our depth is doing very well as well. So that's exciting. We have a lot of exciting things for the Detroit Red Wings. Same with their defense. And Hugo Anavel. Also, he's been an absolute tank for the Red Wings, which has just been really exciting to just kind of watch him and see how well he's been playing. Now, we did turn off goaltender rotate, so I got to make sure I do turn that back on, unless I already did, which I probably already did. Yep, because I probably did in the last episode. But yeah, let's get some simulation going, man. I'm excited to get the season ended and get back in the playoffs, hopefully, if shit doesn't go wrong. But the Detroit Red Wings are looking for a Stanley Cup for the first time since, what was it, 2008? 09? No. 09 was Pittsburgh, right? And then, yeah, 2010 was Chicago, I'm pretty sure. So 2008 was the last time the Detroit Red Wings have won a Stanley Cup. So it's almost been 10 years, or no, almost 20 years now since the Detroit Red Wings have brought home Lord Stanley, or even been seen any playoff success. I mean, this team has been on kind of a playoff drought for the last couple seasons, 9 years in a row or something like that. We didn't see playoffs until a couple years ago. Last year we went on a huge run, making it all the way to the conference finals, which was a great story. This team played fantastic, and now we're even playing better than what we did last year, which is just even more exciting to be able to watch this team and see this team dominate with how well this Detroit Red Wings Pasternak, dude, you're getting good ice time. I really like where you're playing. I disagree with you, Pasternak. You're playing on a great line alongside of Shane Wright and Landeskog. If I move you guys up to give you first line time, the thing about that is we're not going to have that plus that you guys would have right now, and you would not be playing as good as you are right now. That's the thing. So stop being a little bitch and just play hockey. But yeah, the Detroit Red Wings are playing absolutely fantastic. Wow, this is nuts. Landeskog, stop being a prick. You're 33 years old. You're playing on a good line. Fuck off. Seriously, you guys. Stop being pussies, man. Just play the game. You're doing good. We're 21-2-4, man. This is the best record I think the Detroit Red Wings have ever had. Not just that, the best record I have ever had in a franchise mode ever. Concussion for Anthony Mantha. That's okay. We'll just replace the player. And we'll continue on with the simulation. I mean, we're doing good. I could take a couple losses for not having Mantha up on the first line. And then also Connor Burrows out with a sprained ankle. He will be out for a little bit. That sucks. That's okay, though. He'll be back in, like, after these couple games, after the Flames game. He'll be back, and then he'll be ready to go. Seorpkin out with a wrist sprain, too. Damn, injuries all up and around the Detroit Red Wings right now. And that will be the topic of discussion coming towards trade deadline, is picking up some real depth people to help surround this team better than what we already have. I want Joe Veleno to play third-line centerman there. Harding, yeah, he's doing decent up on the first line. I mean, not as good as Mantha, but you know. Also, Seth Jones has been having a great year this year. I think he could honestly compete for that Norris. The first year that he had here, he was competing for that Norris, but this year, a point-per-game defenseman this year, you really can't give very much of that, man. Seth Jones has been just a great veteran defenseman for the Detroit Red Wings. What a pickup he was when we got him in free agency there. He has really built this team to be what it is today. Larkin, he's back in the lineup as well. Put him back in there. Get him on in there, baby. Hardening, yeah, and we'll continue this simulation because I don't think we're not going to be getting Mantha because he was out with a concussion. At least it was not a concussion syndrome injury. That would have been most of the season that we went. Oh, and then Hardening goes down with a fractured jaw. More injuries for the Detroit Red Wings. It seems like we just cannot stay healthy right now, but hopefully we keep continuing to pull off some big victories as we are. We're still doing half decent. Hayden gives that +3, so maybe we keep Hayden down up there, but I'd rather have Hardening playing and getting him kind of developed a bit more because we could potentially use him for future years. And we're pretty deep this year, honestly. I don't even think we need to make any deals. I think we can honestly just simulate all the way to the playoffs. I honestly do think that. We're going to wait for Mantha, let him heal up a couple more days. Bertuzzo, you're playing on the third line. Fuck off. Seriously. I'm playing you wherever I am playing you. Just play hockey. Like, you don't need to complain to me. Just play the way that you're playing. Keep doing good. And keep it up. That's all we need you to do right now is keep up the good play. And, I mean, you're playing, honestly, pretty good on that third line this year. You're probably going to want to play more ice time, I'm guessing. No. But Bertuzzo, I love this guy. We've had him since legit day one. I think the only guys that we've had since day one on this roster is Mantha, Larkin, and Bertuzzo. Those are the only 3 guys that have originally, and I mean, Mantha NMC came back after a couple years. But I mean, we have kept the team pretty much together. Syorkin, I mean, we drafted him in 2020. That was our first ever selection on the team. And I mean, Syorkin's been one of our more consistent defenders on the team. Yufsin, how well are you doing this year, buddy? 893, 298. Not too bad. A 4-3 record. I mean, not as good as Hugo Hannafelt. Hugo Hannafelt has been the beast for the Detroit Red Wings this year, and I'm happy that we picked him up, man. What a pickup. That was a perfect goalie to kind of help out with the team this year. We weren't able to really find anybody that was nice in free agency, so I'm glad we kind of went to him, and hopefully he will work. Senny Lapierre, no. Kopitar, no. Continue the simulation here. 33, 11, and 6. We're not doing too bad here in Detroit, though. We're first place in the division. I think, yeah, tied up with Detroit. Ooh, Carolina. There they are, one of the biggest teams in the league so far. And that's going to be a team that we got to be scared about when it comes to the conference finals, I think. Because that might be a team that we might have to face once it comes down to it. I want to keep most of my prospects on the team. I'm not willing to do any big trades this year. I think we got the team that I think we're going to go with for the playoff run. I don't think we're going to change anything of it. I like the team that we have right now. And, I mean, if we were to do any trades, it would just be dumb for us to do. We have a lot of good players on the team. And, yeah, we might have a lot of young guys. But last year's squad took us to the conference finals, even with this very young squad. So, I think no matter what, we'll be able to, I think, maybe even win a cup this year if we don't, of course, get injuries. But even then, we're a very deep team. Like our program here in Detroit, it's been a very strong program. We have a lot of young prospects that we could potentially even call up during the season. So I am really not worried about that fact. I mean, I'm not worried at all. We have a lot of good people. Oh, excuse me. That we can use. So that's the exciting part about this team, is that we have a lot of good players on this team. It's just crazy how stacked. I mean that's what good drafting does you over the past couple of years. Connor Burrows, if we didn't get Connor Burrows in the lineup, I don't even know if we would have been able to afford. I mean, we probably would have. I think we were. But I mean, for the future, you get Connor Burrows on a 3-year entry-level deal. He gets to play with you for 3 years. That's perfect. That's the way we wanted it to happen, right? And especially with how good Connor Burrows is doing right now. And right now, 29 goals on the season. That is crazy good how much he's scoring this year. And especially how much he's helping that third line out with the goal scoring. It's just ridiculous. Pasternak also having a great year himself. alongside of Shane Wright, who's also having a great year himself. He's going to pass all his season totals, which is great. I want to see that young kid produce, and we're finally seeing him really start to produce. And that's a good thing, right? Shane Wright was our huge prospect that we drafted a couple years back, and he has been absolutely fantastic for the Detroit Red Wings. As coming up to trade deadline, we are officially, if we could get past this Ottawa game, it seems to be a long one. Man, a big blockbuster deal. Winnipeg picks up Joel Eriksson Ek, Shea Theodore a third, and Connor to Vegas goes to Connor, Sorelli, and Martin Jones. Huge deal there, as we're 41, 13, and 7 for the Detroit Red Wings. Not a bad finish coming up to trade deadline, as we have 89 points, leading the league in points. And look who's leading the team in points. My main man, Seth fucking Jones, leading the team in points. Let's take a look. Goals for per game. We dominate the league in that. Goals against per league. Dominate the league in that. Power play. One of the best power plays in the league, which is what we wanted to prove. And the PK. We're not changing a fucking single thing with this team, honestly. We're keeping the team the way that it is. It's producing, it's playing good. And if we were to make any changes, I would regret it, right? Like, I would instantly regret it. But Pasternak leading the forwards in points with Larkin, Landeskog as well. Shane Wright having a great season as well. Mantha, everyone's just producing. And you're having Burrows, who has 30 goals. Mantha, Zadina's going to hit 20. Anthony is going to be near 20. Shane Wright's going to hit 20. Landeskog's going to hit 20. Larkin's for sure going to hit 20. Pasternak might hit 30. Most of our team is going to hit 10 goals at least. It's crazy how good production-wise we're having of a season, and that's the biggest thing. And that's the biggest change from what we've had in the past couple of years, is that, I mean, you take a look. I mean, Hugo NFL, what a fucking season, 36-9. Sim, he's gonna struggle this year. It's his first season. Hugo NFL, he's really he's a tank, man. Jesus. But you take a look at last year, Larkin, right? He only had 81 points per point game. But, I mean, you take a look at him in the past seasons, we know we can produce. We know we're a producing team, and that's what we're seeing out of this team this year. Just a great showing this year. So let's continue. We're not even going to stop. We're going to get all the way to the playoffs, and then we're going to do a huge kind of breakdown of the year. Take a look at what we can do. We're also going to take a look at trades and stuff like that, see what kind of went around in the league, because I might as well. I was seeing that big blockbuster deal. That was huge. We'll probably see a couple more this year as teams trying to bolster it up. Garland going to Philly. Actually, we'll just take a look at the trades here. And I'm picking up Fisher for first. So no Eastern Conference teams doing any big deals, I don't think. As we beat up Carolina and Boston. Sweet. Big wins there. Man, Jones is having a great season this year. I cannot wait to take a look at the season totals and just see how everyone's doing. Yeah, so trades. Nothing really for trades. I mean, Florida picked up Ellis, but that's not like huge. I mean, that's going to be a nice shutdown defenseman for them. So, I mean, if we want to be real careful, but I mean, we already simmed past trade deadline, so it's kind of too late now. Where's Florida at anyways? Yeah, they're not even in a playoff spot, so they legit risked a pick just so they could try to make it into the playoffs, which is a very unsafe thing to do. So let's get to the end of the season for the Detroit Red Wings as we look to continue to rip apart the league as we just continue to win games. And we get a lot of shootout losses, or overtime losses too, I guess, as we finally hit 100 points, 46, 14, and 8. What a crazy season for the Detroit Red Wings, as we just been annihilating everyone in our path. No one has been an opposition that can actually properly beat us. Now, the two teams I am scared for is Columbus, of course, and New York. I mean, New York is Toronto because they kicked our ass. But Columbus beat our ass in the last seasons in the conference finals on our road to the Stanley Cup, which was a huge bummer for us. We definitely did not want to lose in that fashion that we did to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Actually, we beat up the New York Islanders. But let's see if the Columbus Blue Jackets made it in, as we are 54-20-8 as we take the President's Trophy by a landslide. What a demolition derby this year. The Blue Jackets did make it in, and the Hurricanes kind of had a rough way to end off the season. They definitely did. I thought they were near us almost the entire season, the same record, but I guess we definitely split from the pack and we really performed. So let's take a look at your Detroit Red Wings and see how well we did. With 116 points. What a crazy season. Goals for per game led the division in that. Goals against per game led the division in that. Power play was lethal, 26.5. 85.2 leading that in the... Man, just what a wrecking of a season this year. Who are we also going to be facing in the playoffs? I think it's going to be the Senators. I think we're going to be facing, which we already beat them 2 times in a row before we got into the playoffs. So let's see how we do in the playoffs against them. That should be exciting. But regular season, I mean, I just seen Jones have 70 points. What a season. Pasternak did definitely dip off. He had a good season to start off the season, and then he kind of dipped back down to 68 points. But still a good season for Pasternak. I got to give him that. He still had a good season. Shane Wright, only 65 points. But if we were to take away the third line, and that's the reason why Dylan Larkin produced so much in that first year, was because of the fact he was the only guy that was producing on the team. And the fact that we had that Mantha Fabro line that was mad producing, but we usually have no depth scoring. You usually don't get anything. When you have 50 points from your depth goal scoring and 35 from Connor Burrows, you definitely know you're not going to have very much goal scoring up top, and Burrows was a lethal guy on the power play. 14 power play goals, leading the team in power play goals, not just that, and also leading the team in goals. Connor Burrows is the future of the Detroit Red Wings. This kid is a stud. What a guy that we picked up there, man. I think that was our that was our last ever top 10 pick that we really kind of got. But everyone, Landeskog had a great season this year, and he's going to have to perform huge in the playoffs. He has before, and we need him again to be that big power play performer for us. And we need everyone to. We need everyone producing coming towards this playoff. And Mantha, what is another great year for Mantha. I mean, he's had a couple down years, and he's had a couple injuries hindering him a bit, but this year, he's really stepped his play back up, and he's been one of the best players for the Detroit Red Wings. Forward-wise, you have Seth Jones having another great year, and Hugo Anafelt, 46, 14, 7, and 4 shutouts. What a season for Hugo Anafelt. Hopefully he's ready for the playoffs, because he's going to be taking a lot of games coming into the playoff time, but he might even win a Vezina this year with how crazy he played. Ricky Skaters, Burrows, he was up there, but probably won't win the Calder, even though he should, because he had 35 goals. He was dominant, like fuck. Hugo Anafelt actually might even win the Rookie of the Year award. What? Seriously? He didn't play enough games with Tampa Bay for the past 3 years? I thought he would, because he played 20 games a year. Does he have to actually pass 25 games to be a... that's kind of stupid, though. So, that's really stupid. I thought after the... whatever. So, he actually might win the fucking Calder anyways. Damn. So, Alexander Nylander, wow, leading the league in points behind Pettersson. What a crazy season for him. Goal-wise, Besser, Pjorkin, our old boy, Caleb Vance. Where's Steckel at? Hey, where's Steckel? Hey, there's Jackson Steckel playing for the New Jersey. Hey, fucking Connor Burrows tied him up in goal scoring. That is nuts. What did they draft? No, they weren't drafted in the same class, but Connor Burrows, man, already at the overall that he is looking pretty damn good. I'm excited about Connor Burrows, man. He is the real future of the Detroit Red Wings. So, there is the stats for the deadly year that the Detroit Red Wings have. Now we got to go up against the Ottawa Centers in the first round of playoff action, which I think is the first ever time we will be facing this team in the first round. Ottawa, so they have Brady Tkachuk, Logan Brown, Alex Fermenton, Andre Casa, Pinelli, Burakovsky. They got Chandler Spalling, a big prospect there, who's kind of capped off at 85. Derek Stepan and Noah Gunler. And then you got Connor Brown, Colin White, and Yamro Pantelek. Okay, some good young players there with Pinelli, of course, Kasha and Burakovsky. But definitely a depth-ridden team. And then you got the defense, which is definitely going to be scary. As you got Shabbat, Branstrom, Corbin, and then the old Alex Pietrangelo, who we did try to pick up a couple times, but never wanted to come to Detroit. So now he's going to be facing up against us, so we'll see how that is. Also, goalies. Gustafson, great year. Yeah, great year for him. And I mean, that was in the playoffs, though. 916. He's a great consistent goaltender for the Ottawa Centers. So we're going up against a very good team in the Ottawa Centers, but they're facing a tank in the Detroit Red Wings. I also want to check quickly how good Seth Jones did compared to everyone else in the league, because that will be also a nice thing to see, because Seth Jones almost led our team in points, which was that's just crazy to think about. He did lead the team in points for a while there, so let's see how well he matched up against the other defensemen. Adam Bockwist might steal it from him with 2 other points. That sucks, but he didn't play as much power play time. I think that's the reason why, but Seth Jones was a very good defenseman throughout the year, even Vezina caliber, but I think Adam Bockwist will probably take that award, which is kind of a bummer, because I think Seth Jones does a lot more than Bockwist. Yeah, it does a lot more. Hits and blocks are a big thing there. But right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. In the next episode, we're going to be taking on the Ottawa Centers. So make sure to come and check that out, as we're going to be fighting for the Stanley Cup this year. Our road to the Stanley Cup hopefully will be coming very soon. But for right now, guys, I'm going to end off here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios, amigos.